Hello and welcome to FanCookingTastic. In today's episode, we're traveling halfway around the world to India and hearing the story of the two-timing chicken. The ingredients for today's episode is about 2 pounds boneless, skinless chicken. That's a lot of BS chicken. 1 whole onion, sweet or regular, your choice. Curry powder, the standard variety. A small amount of turmeric. Coconut milk. Your favorite butter chicken sauce. Hi, we're ready to cook, aren't we? Because it's FanCookingTastic. Today we're going to be doing Indian food, and we're going to do 2 variations, hence the 2-timing chicken. We're going to be doing curry, but before we go down that road, I want to explain something because there's a bit of a misconception with curry. A lot of people think curry is the spices, but simply it is the style of dish. Curry is a gravy or a sauce used to season meats, and it is made up of various spices, but so curry powder is just one variation, a very common blend, thanks to the British occupation of India. The British warriors, well, they were, British soldiers came home from occupied India, and they brought the best of India cuisine with them, wrapped up in a parcel of spices known as the curry spice or the curry powder that we all use today. And that's made up of things like cumin and turmeric and ginger. What else is in there? Sometimes some black pepper, maybe a couple other spices. But then there's all these variations that branch out. And then if you're going for curry in the English sense, you're literally going for a style of dish that is a meat or a vegetable with sauce, and each sauce has its varying degree of heat and temperature. So today we're going to 2-time it. We're going to do 2 kinds of curry. One, we're going to cheat. We're going to be using a pre-made jarred, but our favorite, Patak's. They didn't help with the program, but we'll help them. Patak's butter chicken, tasty. This is a pre-made sauce, and in this sauce, it has things like, let's see, a mild, creamy tomato and butter curry sauce. Fair enough. Water, cream, tomatoes, tomato puree, sugar, spices, etc., and a few unpronounceable things. But otherwise, this is in essence a pre-made butter chicken sauce. What we're else going to be doing is we're going to be using chicken. We're going to make our own coconut chicken curry. Not in the realm of korma. Korma has extra spices plus the coconut and the custard and whatnot. But this is going to be our own variation of a chicken coconut curry. So I hope you're hungry. I'm starting to get hungry. Let's get started. What we need to do first is we got to get our chicken all cut up because we're going to be cooking all of this chicken and we're then going to split it in half. And so one of the best ways to do this is to cut the chicken into essentially bite-sized cubes. Nothing too tiny, nothing too huge. You don't want to be having to cut your curry with a knife. You should be able to eat the piece as is. So through the magic of editing, you're no doubt going to see me do this extremely quickly. Really spice it up a bit. Okay, let's get this into the wash. Okay, so we're all washed up. Oh, forgot a plate, didn't I? Yep. Don't want any chicken bits. And you know what? Just to be sure, we should always clean the counter space in case a little bit of chicken got on there. Don't want to poison your family. We kind of guarantee you're not, so we better live up to that, hadn't we? Okay, so our chicken's ready, and we're going to get a different cutting board because we're going to deal with an onion in a second here. I'm going to get a little bowl for that. In the meantime, we're going to come over here, get our burner going about third burner. Remember, we're using a gas burner here, and so it's about 1/3. They seem to cook really, really, really fast. Okay, and we'll get our onion ready. We're going to use a whole onion. Oh, you know what this means. If I'm using an onion, you know what this means. Those of you who've already watched a pile of episodes. Onion glasses. It means onion glasses. All right. This way, we're not going to be crying in the kitchen. There's no spilt milk around, so I'll stop with the terrible dad jokes right now because you just might want to stop watching the show on account of it. I can see it now. The comments are coming in. All right, already. It's enough dad jokes. Fine, I agree. Okay, let's see. All right. So our butter is melting over there. We want it all melted. These are not prescription onion glasses, but they have a neat foam thing that keeps all the fumes away from my eyes so I can actually see while the rest of the people in the room are passing out from onion fumes. Warfare in the kitchen with onion glasses and onions. Okay, our onions are ready. I better get rid of this so I can take my glasses off. I think we're done with the knife and we're done with the board. We'll clean that up later. Whew, there. Now, back to this a minute. There's a recipe here. Let's see, fry some chicken, add some sauce. Oh, here you go. Try a handful of bell peppers. Oh, they're saying peppers. That's it. Oh, here you go. Paneer, cauliflower, and other vegetables. So there you go. The onions and other vegetable. And there goes the clock on the wall. How about that? You know what? We'll run the clock this time for our episode. Why not? Okay, our butter is melted. In goes the chicken. There we go. And this is where we turn the burner back up to about half because we want the butter to get hot. Now that there's chicken in there, it isn't going to burn as much. And yeah, we're just going to... There's a lot of butter in here because I always find the pre-made sauce isn't buttery enough. So I'm just going to do that and give this a nice hot water. We've got a lot of hot water going on over here. So don't worry, we're not going to poison anybody. Okay, so while that is cooking, we have our onion. We're going to be using curry powder and turmeric and coconut milk. Now, to be honest, this is an experiment. I've never used coconut milk before. I've used coconut shavings added to the milk base cream, similar like how we've done in previous episodes. We made a sauce for salmon. Similar way we did that. So go watch that episode if you want to learn how to make a nice flour-based, easy-to-make butter sauce. But today, I'm going to try coconut milk. And we're going to open this up. I haven't tried it before. I'm going to see what this is all about. Because to me, coconut juice is very watery. That's pretty thick. Let's see what it tastes like. I've never tasted coconut milk. Oh, yummy. Yummy. I could eat that as a dessert. All right. I can see we're going to need to add a little bit of sweetness to our dish, though. So we have the onion. So what we're going to do is like we're making the It's like we're making the butter sauce for the fish. So we're going to start with about, in this case, about a half a cup, I think. Let's see here. Oh no, a good third. Yeah, almost about a half a cup of butter. It's a lot of butter, but it's good butter. And we're going to start melting that in this pan gently. So we're going to go about 1/4 burner. You do not want to burn your butter while you're trying to reduce it down. That's a no-no. And what we have to do first, before we add the coconut milk or the curry powder or any of that sort, we are going to need to cook the onions. So while that's doing that, we have a spoon for the chicken, and we're now going to use a different spoon for this stuff and let that all melt down. How's our chicken doing here? Stir it around because you want to get it all cooked in this butter here. So we'll turn the heat up just a little more. It's cooled the pan down quite a bit. So, And while we're waiting for that, what else do we need to do? Well, we'll open up the butter sauce. I'm going to show you a little secret too when I get to using this. This is a nice thick sauce in here, as you can probably see with the ceiling can. Nice thick sauce. And rather than pour it out and leave half of it in the jar, as tends to happen with a lot of store-bought sauces, I'm going to add a little bit of milk. Shake the whole jar with the lid on, and that clears anything left over rather than washing it down the drain. Simple, right? That's what the whole object of this show is, to try to be simple. Make it fun too. But it's easy. This is so ridiculously easy. I'm standing here now. I have to do a song and dance. There's nothing else to do except get the naan bread. Hello. Naan bread. So there we go. We have our naan bread. Santosh is what we're using. This is just a 5-pack. You can get a 10-pack. Plain. This one we like. It has garlic on it too. That one's easy. We're just going to be baking that. And quite simply, put it in the oven for a little bit. But we'll get to that a bit later. Right now, let's get our butter melted here. Get our chicken cooking here. It's coming. Another 10 minutes on the chicken, I'd say. So, literally, yeah, we're back to twiddling our thumbs and waiting. Needed to find a joke or two. Did you hear the one about the 2 curries? Ugh. What else? We're going to be also doing rice. So we could get our rice starting or ready to go. This is a pretty easy procedure. We're using a rice cooker. You know what? We'll do it over here today. We're using a rice cooker, and very simple to use. Just I use a mixture here. I use about 2 cups of water. There we are. 2 cups of water in here. And this thing is like a toaster, but for rice. I'm just going to pour in 1 cup of rice. Because we're having naan bread too, we don't have too much rice. A generous cup though. Nice full cup of rice. So this rice cooker, I suggest you get one, invest in one, because it's just so easy to put everything you need in there and let it do its thing. I have a little secret that I've discovered. Since we're using today's theme, food, butter, we're going to add a little bit to the rice. I always add just a little bit to the rice. I find in the rice cooker, without it, it wants to become strangely soggy. So we do that, and this is just a plug-in there. Put it back here into view, and it's a set and forget. Turn it on, and it's going to do its thing for us. Pretty easy. This meal's pretty easy, especially when you have all the equipment you need. Just need a little bit of time to cook the chicken, which is almost ready. Another 5 minutes, I'd say, on the chicken. this butter here is ready for our onions. So let's get the onions sauteing in the butter. There you go. Stir it around in there. Turn the heat up a little now because we're not frying the butter or frying the onions, but we are making them softer. The last thing we want is to have hard, chunky onions. So you just let that do its thing. The chicken is almost done. We're going to leave the liquid in there. Our garlic naan bread is ready to use. And of course, we're going to need one of these little tools here to help us get, let's see here, to help us get, this one might work, to help us get the, oh, I know which one will totally work. This one, to help us get the coconut milk out of the jar, out of the can. It is very thick. I'm surprised. I didn't know. So there you go. I learned something today, and I hope you did too. The end. No, I'm kidding. We're not at the end yet. Okay, cook up the butter. All right, there we go. There we go. How's this chicken coming along? Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. We're almost there. Well, I hope you enjoy this meal as much as I know we do around here. We do Indian food easily 2 times a month, if not more, and it's typically home cooked. We don't we get the sauces. There are spice packs and different spices you can get to add to it, or just make your own. But we're just going basic route today, and so we just wait. We just wait a bit. There's nothing to do except waiting. And I know the ceiling cam, you just get to watch this rice in slow motion. I wonder, does it boil faster? No, I don't think it does. All right, back to waiting. I'm going to insert some garden scenery, pictures of the lake, pictures of the birds, something, anything at all while we wait. Please. This is good. This is turning out nicely. We want these onions to get really soft. Like I say, you don't want to have them chunky chunk in this sauce. People will go, "What's this chunky thing in my chicken coconut curry sauce?" Blah. All right. Now, sometimes if you need to help get some of this liquid going, you find that hottest part of your pan, and you just push, all the chicken's basically done, so you just push it off to the side, open up a lake in the middle of it all. Okay, and just let that boil, let that simmer. And what that's going to do is bake it or boil it off, get rid of some of that liquid. We want to keep some of it, but most of it we just want to come off in the steam. Whereas over here, we're trying to get the onions softer, and it's working. They're about halfway. So in total, you're probably doing these onions, about 5 or 6 minutes at a good hot butter. Before we add any other ingredients, which is going to be some curry powder and some turmeric. In fact, we're going to add some of the turmeric now because I want it to cook. Whew, that's good smelling stuff. I want it to cook in there. That was about, a teaspoon or 2. And then we're going to add the curry powder soon, but I don't want it to cook as much in this butter. And be careful, as I just did, when you're sloshing this stuff around, because you've just added the most potent color ever known to man. That being turmeric, which is bright yellow. Luckily, I think I just saved my shirt. Don't tell my wife, who does the laundry around here. She'll wonder what happened. In fact, you know what? In order to save myself, I'm going to put on something that, oh, this isn't applicable though. My friends of mine got me this, but we're doing Indian today, not Mexican. So that said, let's put on an applicable apron, something a little more, this might be good. Something just a little bit more, going to give me a little more protection on the coverage here, just in case. This yellow stuff we don't want to have flying around. Boy, is it ever stain. So keep that in mind when you're working with these foods. Wear clothes you don't mind getting slopped on, because half of the fun is getting sloppy with the cooking. Okay, this is frothing up nice. Okay, let's see. How are these onions? They're getting there. They're almost there. That smells really nice. These herbs and spices, Indian spices, have such a warm and comforting smell about them. It's like, I don't know, it's just comfort all wrapped up into a ball. You know, this apron doesn't quite fit me. I may have grabbed someone else's apron, I'm probably sure. Okay, here's a basic one. Watch, it's probably not even going to cover up anything. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting at the utensils, aren't we? Right, the magic apron. This apron here has seen a lot of miles, let me tell you. A lot of cooking, a lot of meals. There, now we're not going to get too messy. It will. So, invest in a good apron. Next, we're going to add the entire can of coconut milk. So, here we go. We just pour it in. Look at that. Ooh la la. And, oh, we're going to turn our heat down. We don't want to burn it. Never cooked with it before, so I don't know what it's going to do. Welcome to Coconutville. We'll clean that up later. So, you stir this in to all your butter. It's making, and it's warming up, so it's making up a really nice thick sauce. Smells pretty good. And we're going to make sure we add enough of this curry powder to give it the rest of the flavoring. So we're adding about 3 to 4 tablespoons of this stuff. More yellow to get on our clothes. But this now takes up the cumin that we didn't add, as well as a few of the other spices that are in here. Now, this has gone a little lumpy on me, hasn't it? So we gotta stir, stir, stir. Gonna get some curry bites in there, I think. Well, I think I've cocked that one up a little bit. I think I need to do some whisking. Get rid of some of our lumps. So, there. That did it. And then how's our chicken reduction here? Oh, good. Yeah, that's good. We just want to toss this back around and take the heat off. So we're done cooking that chicken. Okay. And let's see how this is turning out. No more lumps. No. Good. It's no lumpiness. Okay. We better taste that. Need a spoon. Ah, here's one. Taste this a little. Make sure. It has the curry, but it needs a bit of salt. And hello again. I'm going to add one little extra thing somewhere down here in the magic cupboard. No, not that stuff. No, where's our coconut? I know we've got some somewhere. What's this? Flaked coconut. More flaked coconut. Ah, flaked coconut. Perfect. Excellent. Because this is sweetened coconut. And it's going to add naturally some sugar, some sweetness to this sauce. So we're adding, I don't know, 2 or 3 tablespoons of that. Not much, because that's going to make it chunky again. So we'll just stir this all through. There we go. Oh, that smells heavenly. Now, let's taste that. Before it needed some salt and some sweetness. It's missing something. Maybe milk. Yeah, I think that's what it's missing. It's rather bitter right now. So we're going to add a bit of milk. It's kind of on the bitter side, so we're just going to add some milk. And I think we're going to add a little bit of white sugar, because that will definitely take care of the sweetening too. We're just dashing it in, about 2 tablespoons or so, give or take. This is the fun of cooking. Just experiment. You never know what's going to happen, good or bad, right? That should handle it. Now, we're ready to start cooking more. We want to cook some of this chicken, so we're just going to put half of it out and put half of it in. Right? So we're just going to scoop here, half, put it in to the sauce. And this is going to change the flavor too, a little bit. Right? Add some dynamics to it. What else? There, now. We'll save this. It's about half. We'll save that for butter chicken. Now we got a very saucy. This is going to get thicker though, I'm hoping, as we cook it down. There, we'll just let it gently simmer. And that should become thicker over time. If not, we have some tricks that we can do. We'll just add a bit more coconut for good measure. There we are. Before we put it away. And our rice, how's our rice doing? Oh, it's getting frothy in there. Okay, frothy's good. Put our coconut back and stir this coconut in, because we got to get that sweetness in there too. All right. So you see, this is very yellow. Now, we got to get that butter chicken in, don't we? The longer these sit in the sauces, the tastier it all becomes. So, time for the butter chicken sauce. We just add that in there. So you see, it doesn't all quite come out. There's quite a lot in the jar. So here's my secret. We'll put a little bit of milk in the bottom of the jar. Not much, just a dash. Put the lid back on and shake it. Make sure the lid is on tight. You'll be making a huge mess all over your kitchen. Now the rice has come up to some steam now, so that's good. Here, if we pull this over here, you can probably see it in frame. There, and then we pour our see, clean the jar right out. Made it all nice. We just pour that on top. It's a little pinkier, but that's okay. Butter chicken should be. We'll clean that up later. Now, we stir all this in. This is a little thicker, but it too will thin slightly once we go to heat it back up again, which we'll do closer to dinner time, I should think. Let this sit and sit. There. Good there. I'm going to put a lid on this and put it on a gentle simmer. So not very high flame, like just a hair of flame. Sometimes this rice maker needs a little bit of a release of the steam to prevent it from boiling over. And we're going to let each of these cook for about 15-20 minutes on a low simmer. The longer the better. The rice is going to be cooking. When it's done, it just simply pops up and it'll be ready to serve. We're going to take a break now at this point and return when all the food's ready to put out to the plate. Indian food, by the way, is a wonderful share food. If you have many people eating, go ahead and serve the dishes out individually, naan bread, rice, and the 2 chickens on plates for everybody to take what they want. And then you lay it out on the plate, as you'll see in a bit later, quite nicely so that it all works together on the plate. So keep that in mind, and we'll be back later on with the finished product. Okay, the food's been cooking for a good while now. In fact, it sat for an hour or two off of the heat, and I've got the bread in the oven. It's about ready to come out. We're going to serve the dishes to the plate, and we're going to see what it's all about. The rice has been slowly warming, although it is pretty chilly. I might actually put it on the plate and nuke it before. And it sat a while, so that's exactly what I'm going to do, and turn the heat off. And we're going to have a little cheers before we have some Indian food. So, we're ready for the hot plates, and we're ready for the bread. So, over here, we've got our chicken, coconut chicken curry, coconut chicken, coconut, whatever you want to call it, with curry sauce. It's all ready. Turn that off. And here we have our butter chicken, all nice and hot and ready to roll. So we turn that off because we're basically ready to get this all to plate. Turn our oven off. This bread's been in for about 10 minutes just to warm it up and fluff it up a bit. We're going to put it on our plate here and give it a cut up. That pan's hot, so we're just going to put it back in the oven. It's safer that way, trust me. Okay, this bread's nice and hot and fluffy. Whew, it's very hot, actually. I'm going to get, we'll just use this knife. Whew. Whew, that's very hot. Very hot indeed, but we're okay now. We got these all cut. Whew. Cut them into little squares because it's easier to eat that way. Whew. You can just tear them if you wanted to, whatever works for you. And, oh, boy, that's warm. Probably best to use some kind of gloves, but anyway, we're just trying to get that all ready. So, let's bring our butter chicken over. I'm going to get our extra plates out of the way. So we have our butter chicken over here. And we're going to put our, need a serving spoon for that stuff. Okay, this will work. And our coconut chicken curry here. There we go. And because this rice is kind of cold, what we do is, it's kind of advantageous because you can put a bit out on the plate. So make this one of the grown-up ones. There we go. Put the rice in the middle of the plate. Now because it's cold, I'm just going to quickly warm it up here in the microwave for a few seconds, about 30 seconds. And then we serve one side one chicken and one side the other chicken. with a bit of naan bread. And then we're all set. So we're just going to wait for that to buzz. Okay. So that rice is nice and thick. We're going to serve a little bit of butter chicken down the one side. And of course, make sure you pick up some of that sauce, right? We want to make sure the sauce, you've got to have sauce to dip your naan bread into. There we go. And then our curry chicken, where you just want to get a lot of the chicken first and then put the sauce on after, because then you know how much chicken you've given somebody. There we go. Make a nice right mess of it. Put on a couple of naans and a couple of more naans. And there you have yourself a magnificent Indian dish. 2-timing chicken Indian curry. Naughty chicken. But there you see, we've got the coconut, we've got the butter chicken, the rice, and the naan bread. So I'm going to go ahead and serve up the rest of this fantastic meal to everyone else. And I'm going to also ring the bell because food is ready. Have fun cooking it, and we'll see you next time. For more FanCookingTastic episodes, click these links that seem to be filling up my kitchen. And please like, comment, and subscribe.